Warm evening to all of our viewers. As we all know, tomorrow is the repo rate. Whether we are going 40 basis or 50 basis, a lot of uh, debate. In fact, last 3 days the RBI is meeting on how to go about the same. We also have E-Teen Money and other couple of media who already have taken some kind of a poll saying that there's a 50% chance that we may go 50 basis point as well. So meanwhile, when the polls are going on, what is that we expect from the market, or what do we see in the market, is what is the big question for all of us. If you see here, the Bank Nifty has not shown much of a, though it made a good breakout, it went up, it did not sustain above this levels. So this becomes a very strong resistance. And if you see, market tried to move down below 35, which is also a psychological price. However, it formed a kind of a doji and just closed almost above this line. So as per our view, tomorrow there's a pretty good chance that market may open gap down and take support at 34,870, 34,900 levels, and then move towards upwards towards 35,600 as well. These are views. I am not sharing any kind of a call as of now. However, my view according to the open interest is there is huge call writings which is done, if you see, in Nifty and Bank Nifty as well. And if you see, the put call ratio is just about 0.55, which means there is not too huge positions actually. Meanwhile, while I am speaking, I would request our viewers to kindly also put in their questions. Couple of banks, let us also go through. To understand how the market, the banks have been performing and what can be expected. So this is the index per se. Bank Nifty. If you see, the next level of support is at 34,782. I am sure the open interest may also reflect the same. I think there is some technical issue. My internet seems to be probably slow because a lot of users logged in currently at. So this is the spot. This is the futures. So let's see how. If you see, Bank Nifty has just been, moving downwards, and possibly, according to us, there's a test of which needs to test 34,770 levels, or it may even try support at 34,800 levels as well. I think I'll remove all the drawings so it makes okay. Okay, possibly I can open another trading view. Okay, uh, I'm sorry, I think we may not be able to see the open interest. I'm not sure it's a system issue or the server at Topstra is slow. Okay, seems to be coming up. So I may have to re-log in. Meanwhile, I would request our viewers to share their views, even if they have any feedback for us about the channel to make it better, make it useful for all of us concerned. I would request please do feel free and share right now. Also, you may post your questions if any particular stock or any particular strategy as well. Strategies I would probably connect one on one. I would share my contact if you want. We can connect and understand the strategy what you are following, and also we could even look at what strategies can be used uh, by one another to make the so I'm not sure why my system is getting hanged up. Okay, let's look at the Bank Nifty open interest. Here, this is the strategy builder. You can work on different strategies, Aran Condor, Fry. You can test what will be the kind of risk involved. We can probably have a same session if somebody is keen on the same uh, and low risk kind of strategies. So this is a Nifty open interest. The highest open interest in the puts is at 16,000 and open interest at 17,000. That means the writers on the call side very confident that market will not move above 17,000 by this expiry. Let's look at possibly even the next expiry, 16th of June. What is that they feel we can probably get a hands on. So this is equally biased. Good put writing on 15,700, call writing at 16,500, 17,000 once again. Maybe we'll look at 23rd June as well. More call writing, same we can look at even 30th of June. Too far away, of course. Huge put writing. Writers are more towards the put side. So over a period of time, maybe the market may slowly reverse is what they're expecting. So let's look at Bank Nifty writers. Very strong writing at 35,000, both call and put. The call price is 320 where the put price is around 295. So not and the piece here is at 1. So this will definitely have to be seen tomorrow, whether this becomes a support or this becomes a resistance. So while we are trading, we can now open this and keep watching if you at NSE as well. $35,000 Of course, there's a good build up here. 35,000 call writers change in open interest has been increased. So either of the calls or the puts have to unwind tomorrow. So this is what the open interest says. And the call side 35,500 is the next level is what it is seeing. For me, good strong buying is only once the price is sustaining about 35 200 and above. Else I see the price being caught up in this channel and maybe slightly getting rejected at this trend line and moving downwards. Meanwhile, as I was mentioning, let's look at a couple of the banks, how they've been performing. Kotak Bank, in fact, moved slightly down today, and then good recovery. If you see in Kotak, strongly holding on this trend line. HDFC Bank also has been very flattish, not giving any great moves as such. Axis Bank Axis Bank seems slightly bearish for me. Axis Bank, we may see price being tested up to 640 levels, 630 levels also. Maruti very strongly moved. If somebody observed today, it opened at 7,555 and then almost came to 7,830 levels. Somebody would have made a good money if we had entered in this counter. One may still buy this. We had mentioned Maruti is a very good stock. We expect this slightly to retrace up to 7,700 and then head towards 8,100 levels in a couple of weeks. Meanwhile, we look at steel. If this sector has been sustaining, price is taking the support at the trend line. Any move down below 1,554 we may expect this back to our three digits also. Let's look at SBIN. SBIN, as we mentioned, has retraced, took a support, and then I think we may see 500 levels in some period of time. Levels to watch on SBI is 460 for entry levels. $470, there might be some bit of more resistance, and then we may see it moving towards 480 levels, maybe in another next 3 to 4 months or so. So this is about the banking stocks. Let's also have a look at Nifty 50, how they have been performing. Bajaj Auto, we had a buy yesterday, and a few quantities we held back. We're expecting this stock actually move towards 3,920. So just few quantities of what we are having in our portfolio. Oil stocks today were pretty good. Meanwhile, I would like to bring your attention towards US oil, our expectation or our view in terms of the charts. In fact, yesterday I wanted to show this. We are expecting a slow up move towards 120, 122, and maybe consolidate for some time, come back to 112, 115 levels, consolidate, and down towards 92, 94 levels in short period of time. If we see currently, it is taking support at 117, retracing back a couple of times. So this becomes a very strong support, 117, which is where we are expecting bit of consolidation after the up move, and then straight down towards 92 levels. Meanwhile, we can even look at a couple of stocks like Ambuja. We had mentioned Jet Airways, Ambuja are our long-term bets, Ambuja Cements. Today, again, slightly positive and then negative close or indecision. We are holding this hugely. If it moves below 360 is what our exit plan, and we may possibly add huge once this sustains about 370, 72 levels, and hold it for the next 2 years. Jet Airways is the other stock. Which we are planning to hold for the next 2 years. We would add up to 98 if we are getting entries in this stock. Yes, of course, look at very strong Anderson and ICICI. ICICI couldn't sustain above 750, looks to head down slowly towards 720, 725, and then maybe we can see a up move. We'll also look at IndusInd Bank. Broke our almost came close to our trend line, moved up, made a high of 950, and now again retracing back. I am expecting this to take support somewhere close to 910 levels and then try breaking above 1200 levels. So these are the views for tomorrow. Global markets are slightly flattish, uh, with Ellen sharing her their before budget. They have shared their plan, how they want to beat inflation. Japan yen has hit 20-year-old low, and this is actually good because they want their currency always to be the lowest, so that they get more funds or more business for them. Biden seems to have supporting agreeing or not supporting the legislative measures to bring down the inflation, because inflation is a very huge issue for all countries, and US seems to be hit with the inflation very badly, which of course is affecting the global. So this is the news I was talking about. One may even have a look at this video too. If somebody is into currency trading, this is the site. I'm talking about the currency pairs of Euro USD, GBP, USD, JPY. So it's always good to look at the news across the globe and take decisions on which currency to buy or sell. I think it is pretty late. Our viewers have been with. Thank you, viewers, for being with us for so long. I know it is a slow this thing. Meanwhile, I think I would like to bring in attention towards a couple of stocks like Titan, L&T. They seem to be strong. Weakness probably getting built in Titan and L&T. We are hoping this level of 2000 and above is supported, so that you can. I'm sure many of these investors are holding this stock. RJ is one of the, of course, the big investors. Larsen and Turbo also seems to be heading slightly downwards. Now they have huge contracts. It is currently at trend line of 1580 levels. A very huge resistance being formed here. I'm sure this level has to break for any big up move. And of course there's a good strong monthly support at 1500 levels. So hopefully it may move down, consolidate, and head back towards 2000 levels. Meanwhile, the inflation, other worries needs to die down slowly. Market needs to digest this and slowly move forward. So if we have viewers, I hope you would, we'll also look at some of the IT stocks. Meanwhile, uh, IT stocks like HCL, Infosys. What is that we can expect? HCL, as we are expecting, there's a pretty good chance of it to move down uh, towards 980 and then probably pull back up. Infosys showed a good buying up move rate and now seems to be testing back 1470 levels. One may look to add few quantities at this, and then maybe once the market stabilizes and starts moving up, you may add once it is above 1600 levels for a target of 1800 to 1950. We will also look at let's also look at TCS and Wipro. TCS seems to have taken a very strong resistance at 3480 500 levels. So when I draw these levels, it doesn't need to exactly touch and move up, but then these are strong resistances levels, support levels. Resistance can also become support, and of course there are other factors which we need to look into before taking any kind of a decision. Don't just completely blindly follow fundamentals or technicals. Look into how market wants to react. There are many times, if you see, many people trade on breakouts. So market may do a just for strong fake breakout, and then and then head back upwards as well. So these are factors which we have to look into. As I was mentioning, Sun Pharma, good example is I was expecting some support above 860, however, has not sustained. The next level of support I see is only at 840 levels. So this is how markets tend to react or act. One may need to be very cautious. Don't become overconfident. Okay, market has taken, like today example, people who are very confident market is taking support at 35,100 and then they expected it to move up. However, I was slightly bearish, and then we took Nifty puts, I think 450 at around 120, went up to 160 couple of times. So one needs to be very cautious. One needs to understand market one is very dynamic. Nifty metals seems to be at a strong support. However, I think I am only bullish about this once this trend line is, moves above or sustains above this trend line. So thank you all. Thank you for being with us. If you do not have any questions, I would like to close. So I have put, do you have any questions, or I may close? also look at gold. Gold also is slightly consolidating. Maybe it is waiting for news. Uh, Seems to have a good support at these price levels. From April has fallen very strongly. Now I think a bit of consolidation and getting prepared for the next up move. So good time I think to accumulate good gold, crude forecast. A lot of news coming in crude. I've shared my charts on crude already. Let's hope the crude falls down and eases the pressure on our banks. Couple of penny stocks I had mentioned for long term. I think even Suzlon is one stock we were looking at. Seems to be consolidating at these levels. One may add Suzlon at present levels of 7.5 to 8 for a target of 12. Huge investments lying there in Suzlon as far I know. In fact, my friends, couple of friends have hugely invested. Let's also look at S Bank, Wakarange, SpiceJet, how these are been performing. S Bank moved up 16 a couple of weeks back and then again retracing back. No big moves expected in S Bank. Let's look at SpiceJet. SpiceJet has moved down pretty down up to 40 levels. Excellent time to accumulate. If one can accumulate this for a target of 90 levels, of course the whole time is going to be definitely huge. The lowest I expect this stock to move towards 40. Max to max I think it should hold above 45. Hey, Nidana Matade. I think this stock seems to be waiting for a breakout. We can expect this slowly move back towards 60 levels. Maybe next 10-15 days keep an eye on this stock. I'm sure there will be a good breakout. One may try intraday few 500,000 quantities, because if you get about 10 points it's almost like 10,000 rupees. So keep an eye on this stock. Keep an eye on oil stocks like BPCL, IOC. I'm expecting quite good up moves on these stocks. ONGC, in fact, today made a very strong up move. The other stocks will slowly follow. So thank you all for your love and affection. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us. Uh, just be cautious tomorrow, as I mentioned. I see slight bearishness, but keep an eye on these levels, 35,000. Any, it may. I'm expecting a bit of pressure on this level, trying to break, but then it may take support at 34,800 hopefully, and then move upwards. So we will see how it goes tomorrow. Good luck, happy profiting, stay safe, take care, good health. God bless us all.